If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen that I spent my weekend in Milan with my friend, but now I'm officially back, so it's time to create the next episode of the Filmmaker's Diary. My plan was to film this episode right there in Milan where I was staying, but I just couldn't find the time for it, so now I'm filming it while I'm home. So in case you don't know who I am, my name is Norbert. I'm a 19-year-old film school student who is also creating content on the internet, and I'm also trying to build up my own production studio. So not so long ago I decided that I'm going to create one piece of long form content every single week to document my journey in achieving my goals. And I want to start this episode with something more interesting, with a question. How bad do you actually want it? Like, what are the lengths you are willing to go to achieve your dreams? What do you sacrifice? What are the things, what are the activities you have to leave to achieve your goals? Because if you don't sacrifice anything, you will never really achieve your goals, and most people don't really understand this. Building your own business and going after your own dreams actually requires a lot of sacrifices. You need to sacrifice time with your friends, you need to sacrifice time with your family. And yes, I actually did spend the weekend with my friend in Milan. But prior to that, I worked every single fucking day, every week, more than 6 hours, I think, every single day, just to really give myself the option that, okay, you can go and actually visit your friend. It's okay. You can let yourself, because sometimes you have to forgive yourself that, okay, if I'm going there, I probably won't be as productive as I was back home because I just can't bring my computer, I can't bring my whole gear, I can't bring everything. I'm going there for leisure. I'm going there to visit my friend. I'm going there for some quality time with a loved one. And that's okay. That's okay too. If you are trying to build your own business, you can't do this 24/7. You can't constantly be visiting your friends. You can't constantly be spending time with your friends. And I actually read a pretty good advice when it comes to activities like this. When you are exactly like building your business, when you're building yourself, you're in self-improvement, that when a friend of you asks you, would you like to grab a bottle of beer with me tonight or with the group? And you have two choices basically, right? Like, you can go or you can go. You don't really have any other choices. And every single time you hear an activity like this, your brain starts thinking and you go like, is it a hell yeah, like I really want to do this, or is it like a maybe no? Because when you feel that maybe no vibe, when you feel that emotion, it's more like a hell no. So think like this. Whenever someone asks you, would you like to grab a cup of coffee with me? If you don't immediately think hell yeah, then you should probably decline that invitation and just don't go. Go work on something or do something else, something that you actually want to do. Because most of the times we are just people pleasers, right? Like, we don't want other people to think that we are assholes. We don't want to hurt people. We don't want to hurt other people's emotions, especially if they are our friends. Like, if one of my friends asks me if I would like to grab a cup of coffee, it is pretty hard for me to say no. I will probably still say no because like I don't have time for that right now. Maybe later in this year or next year or after that I will have time. But right now my focus just isn't there. Like, I have to work on my business, I have to work on my content. I've got a lot of things to do. So I will say no. So take this advice away from you. If someone asks you something and your immediate reaction isn't hell yeah, then just skip. Decline that invitation. Don't go to that party. Don't go to cafes with your friends, and just do what you want to do, because your heart actually knows what you have to do. Your brain just starts thinking that, okay, we don't want to hurt this person, like, he was kind to us, he's a good friend, for example, let's not hurt him. Let's go and grab that cup of coffee with that guy. The thing is that that's probably not what you actually want to do, and you've got better things to do, and you're only doing that, you're only drinking that cup of coffee with that person because you don't want to hurt his or her emotions, right? And that's totally okay. Like, totally okay to feel like that. You just need to know that if you want to reach success and if you want to actually achieve your dreams and your goals, you do have to bring these sacrifices. And if someone doesn't really understand that these are some sacrifices that you have to make, that person isn't your friend, and you can let that person go easily. Because your best friend, the person whom you've known for the longest time will understand that, okay, this guy is in go mode, he's in zen mode, he's in the focus state, I can't bother him. He is working on something bigger than our relationship right now. I know he won't forget about me when he reaches success. I know. Right now I just need to let him go. And that's what that person will do. He won't bother you with going out and partying, for example, because he knows that you're in this focus state, and that's your best friend, that's your guy, that's your friend right there. But if someone doesn't understand this, as I said, let them go. Also, just to talk about my trip a little bit to Milan, it's a beautiful city, by the way. We also visited Lake Como, which is also beautiful, especially even in this time of the year. Like it was pretty cold, but it was still beautiful. But that's about the trip. But what I actually want to say is that most of you out there are fucking scared. Like, you are scared to take action. You are trembling to take action, and that is not good. And let me tell you a great example. So the plan was that actually 4 of us will visit our friend in Milan. In the end, it was just me. And why did that happen? Now let me tell you why did that happen. So it wasn't actually my idea to visit our friend in Milan, because I wasn't checking the airplane tickets. But my best friend, my girl best friend, sent me a screenshot of some really cheap tickets. Like, they were like something like $15 to go and to come back. So altogether $30. And I told her that, okay, then let's go, let's buy these tickets and let's just go. What can happen? Like, we don't lose that much money. Like, we lose $15 or $30, and that's it. That's not that bad. Even if we have to miss our flight because of some exams or I don't know, something happens, we just lost $30, and that's it. And she was like, I don't know, maybe, okay, first I have to check if I have exams, if I have that, if I have all that. And I completely understand, like, some people are just really scared about these things. I am not really scared about these things. I'm just built like that. I can't really explain why am I not really stressing about any of these exams or something. Like, I'm the type of guy to start studying right before the exam. Like, I don't know, that's just me. I like working on my own projects and my own business, and I don't really give a fuck actually about these exams. I just work hard enough to pass them and get a pretty good grade out of them, because why not? Because I just understand the whole lesson, you know? So it's pretty easy to just put in a little bit of effort and then get a good grade. Like, that's me. That's how I function. But not everybody is built like that. So coming back to my story, she told me that she just don't know. Okay, let's wait. I asked the other guys, and they said the same. They have to wait. They have to check the calendar. They have to check for exams. They have to do all that. I was like, okay. A couple of days have passed, like 3 days, and I saw that the price have increased. I was like, okay, now is the day. We have to buy these tickets, or otherwise we can't go, because they will be probably too expensive to go. And that time they were like around $25 already, so $50 in total to go and to come back. So I was like, okay, so what are we going to do? And she told me the same. I have to wait. I have to see what kind of exams will I have. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to buy them. So I came home from university and I sat down in front of my computer and I bought the tickets. I spent $50 on the tickets to fly out to Milan and to come back. And I spent 3 days there then with my friend. So can you see where I'm trying to go with this story? Like, I'm not scared to take action, as you can see. These people, my friends, were scared to take action. And because of that, they missed out on an amazing weekend in a foreign country with a good friend of ours. And this is exactly why my business is growing. This is why my content is getting better. This is why my audience is growing, because I take constant action. I take action every single day. I don't just think, I also implement what I think about, right? Like, when you read a book, for example, right now I'm reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, because I finished The Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal, and I should have finished this book last week, but I just couldn't find time to read, especially when I was traveling. Like, I was so tired after every single day because of the programs. But when you read a book like this, like a self-improvement book, there are practical tips inside, especially in the Feel Good Productivity. There are a lot of there are a lot of practical tips inside. And if you don't start implementing these in your own life, you just read a book and that's it. Nothing will happen because you don't take action. You don't implement what you study. You don't implement what you try to learn. So take more action, take more risks, do certain stuff, and don't do stuff because you are waiting for something beneficial for you. For example, don't do certain stuff because it will make you more money. Do stuff because it interests you. Like, I didn't go to Milan because it will make me more money. I didn't win money on that, but I did win something more precious: memories, stuff to talk about. So if you're a content creator, for example, you should actually do a lot of stuff that is interesting to you, because that will accumulate into content that you can talk about, like I'm doing right now. Like, if I wouldn't have been to Milan this weekend, I probably wouldn't be able to talk about it, right? So whatever you do, you can think, but when it's go time, then fucking dive in. Don't overthink. Don't do all this stupid shit that people are telling you. Don't stay in one place. Move. Take action. Do something. I don't care what you do. Just do something. Do something that interests you. Do something that's so fucking uncomfortable that it will move you out of your comfort zone for a very, very long time. Take a cold shower. Create a painting. Shoot a short film. Write a newsletter. Write a book. Do whatever you want. Just do something that moves you towards a different state. Because that's what you should chase. You should chase a different state. You should, like, I'm not trying to become a person. I'm not trying to become a millionaire, for example. I'm trying to become a person who can make $1 million, for example. I'm not trying to become a filmmaker. I'm trying to become a person who can make really, really good content, who can make really, really good films for businesses, for example. You see where I'm going? So do stuff that moves you towards that different state. And one action probably won't get you there. So you have to take more. You have to read more books. That is an action too. You have to buy more books. You have to read more books. You have to listen to more podcasts. You have to do more videos, for example. Like, do certain stuff that just moves you towards the state that you want to feel. Oh, actually, this reminds me of a very good friend of mine who told me that I should talk about different stuff in these videos, because these videos are really for camera guys, and that is exactly what he said. So for those of you out there who aren't camera guys, please just let me know in the comments what I'm trying to say here really is only for camera guys, because I don't really think so. Like, I'm just trying to motivate every single one of you out there watching this to go towards your dreams. Like, do something that moves you towards your goals. If you're a creative guy, then, well, welcome to my channel. But if you're someone who is just a university student, for example, and you just want to become really good engineer or lawyer or a doctor, for example, then you're welcome too. Like, I'm not making these videos to talk to only creative people or entrepreneurs. I'm making these videos for everyone to see that it's not weird to sacrifice things. It's not weird to put yourself out there. It's not weird to, do stuff that is uncomfortable and that is hard. Like, you're not alone. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you're out there grinding, like, grinding doesn't only mean, in my eyes, it doesn't only mean that you are trying to escape the matrix. You're trying to build a business. In my eyes, every single one of you who is studying in a medicine school or a medical school, I think you're grinding, you're hustling, you're doing something that is really fucking hard. If you're someone who is learning computer science, I think you're grinding too, like, you're hustling. I'm not trying to say that only entrepreneurs or only people in self-improvement are grinding. Like, if you have a goal, you have a big dream, and you are doing stuff to really get there, then you are grinding, you're hustling, you're doing anything in your power to get there. I mean, I hope you do. If you have a dream, I really hope you're working towards that, or I really hope that these videos will motivate you to do something about that and start going there. Also, this reminds me that in the previous episode, I also talked about being alone. Like, I really love being alone because I'm naturally introverted guy, and probably because of that. But I realized that if you are trying to build something, and I'm not only talking about a business here, if you're trying to build your career, or if you're trying to become, as I said, a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or something like that, you need time alone. You need a lot of time alone. And why is that? Because the best ideas come when you're alone. I think you can study more efficiently when you're alone. And I'm not saying that you should be stuck at home next to your desk and you should just open your book and read through all of your lessons and that's studying, I'm not saying that. You should go to a cafe and study there too, but use your headphones to really cut out all the distractions, all the noise, so you can focus on what you're trying to learn. What I'm trying to say here is that you need your alone time. It doesn't matter where you have this alone time. Like, you can be alone in a library, you can be alone in a classroom, you can be alone in a cafe, as long as you can really cut out the distractions that are surrounding you. Okay, of course, your home is the best place because you are most likely alone there, you have your own private space, you can just put on your headphones and cut out everything and you can focus. Like, that's what I like to do. But when I was back home in my hometown, I really love to go out into a cafe, order a cappuccino or something like that, put on my headphones and just work on my laptop. Like, I wrote a couple of my newsletters in a cafe on my laptop. Also, if you're not subscribed to my newsletter, you're missing out on a lot of really good letters. I mean, I hope they're pretty good. Someone will tell you if they are good or not. So make sure in the description I leave a link to my newsletters. You can read them all and you can subscribe also to it. Coming back, don't be afraid to give yourself some time to be alone. I think it is extremely beneficial to be alone. You can really just start thinking about thoughts. Like, I read it in this book that it is actually totally normal to have thoughts about your thoughts. Like in this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, I read that it is totally normal to have thoughts about your thoughts. Just try it out. Like, I'm not saying that you should become an introverted guy or do anything in your power to remain alone, because being lonely and being alone is totally different. Like, solitude and being alone is totally different. Don't strive to be a lonely person. Be alone. Spend time with your own thoughts, spend time with your own projects, and don't really go towards the other people. Just embrace your own thoughts and stay with them. Sit down with them. Think about them. Think it through. Think about everything that comes to your mind. Give yourself some time to be alone. And with that, I think I'm going to close down this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you next week. I don't know when, but next week for sure. And hopefully we will talk about some cool topics then. So until then,